Hi everyone, the following is going to be a review on ProJYM. Before I get started, a quick shout out to Chris at ProJYM. Chris, thanks for giving me the opportunity to do the review. And if you're checking the video out on his site, make sure you check out the whole site because he's got a lot of useful information on here. As I stated, the review is on ProJYM. This is a protein put out by JYM Supplement Science. This is a relatively new company founded by Dr. Jim Stoppani. Dr. Stoppani has been involved in the fitness industry for years. Has his doctorate in exercise physiology, a minor in biochemistry, so a very knowledgeable individual. We're going to discuss what's in ProJYM and probably as equally as important, what's not in ProJYM. In the case of ProJYM, it is a blended protein. A lot of people prefer whey. And to be quite honest, if you were only going to take one type of protein, whey would be the way to go. It's very fast digesting, so your body absorbs it very quickly, gets to the muscle fibers very quickly. This is especially important post-workout, when your body's craving that nourishment. But what recent studies have shown is that no one type of protein is as effective at protein muscle synthesis as a good quality blend. Reason being, whey protein synthesis will spike very quickly with it, but it will also drop very quickly. If you've got a good quality blend with proteins that absorb, digest at a different rate, you're still going to get that spike, but rather than dropping very quickly, it's going to maintain. It's going to extend that muscle protein synthesis and potentially is going to lead to bigger and better muscle growth. The blend that Jim's gone with, he's chosen 4 proteins. 7.5 grams whey protein isolate, 7 grams casein, 7 grams milk protein, which we'll get into in a second, and 2.5 grams of egg white. So he's covered the gambit here. He's got his fast digesting in the whey, a very slow digesting in the casein, and a middle ground one in the egg white. So if we look at what that looks like in total, with the milk protein, it is a combination of whey and casein. So when you break everything down, of the 24 grams of protein that you're getting per serving, 50% is going to be coming from casein, 40% from whey, and 10% from the egg white. What's really important with ProJYM is that is essentially all that's in ProJYM. If we look at the ingredients, first 4 listed, we've got your whey, we've got your casein, we've got the milk, and we've got the egg. Everything else here is just the ingredients used to create the consistency and the flavor of the product. There's nothing else added. It is just protein. This is important because the industry as a whole has taken advantage of something called protein spiking or nitrogen spiking. Basically what it is, when you want to measure the protein content in a product, you're going to measure the nitrogen content. Protein has a certain amount of nitrogen, so however much nitrogen is in there equates to how much protein's in there. And what the supplement companies, some of them, a vast majority out there, have discovered is they have access to a lot of ingredients with a very high nitrogen content that are a lot cheaper than protein. And what they've discovered is if you add these ingredients into your protein, it spikes the nitrogen content and makes it appear like there's more protein in there than they might actually be advertising. In some cases, they'll put ingredients in there that really don't have anything to do with protein muscle synthesis. Prime examples, you got taurine, glycine. Neither one really has anything to do with muscle growth, but it will be in a lot of proteins. And there's some they throw in that are actually very beneficial to muscle growth. You'll see companies throw in extra branched chain amino acids. Creatine is a popular one you'll see added. Very useful as far as muscle growth goes, but it's not being put in there in addition to the protein. It's being put in there as a substitute for the protein. So if you have a protein that's advertised as having 24 grams, that 24 grams was determined by measuring the nitrogen content. So if they took a look at their ingredients and said, well, let's throw some extra branched chain amino acids in there, let's give them another 5 grams. Let's throw creatine in there, maybe we'll give them 3 grams of that. Maybe we want to throw in the taurine in there. Pretty soon you got about 10 grams of extra ingredients, which means that your 24 grams of protein is actually 14. And a bunch of things that are just making it look like there's more protein in there. A lot of companies do this, and a lot of them get away with it by hiding it behind what's called a proprietary blend. They list all the ingredients, not necessarily the percentages that they're giving them in. The great thing about ProJYM is you know exactly what you're getting. Jim has told you exactly on the front of the container the exact grams of protein you're getting. There's no spiking here. It's not that the other ingredients are bad. Branched chain amino acids, creatine, these things are great. And they're great to be taken separately. But you don't want to be getting them in a substitution for protein. ProJYM is one of the few proteins on the market where you know you're actually digesting the amount of protein that is on the bag. Very hard to come by in this day and age. But since Jim's supplement science has come out, you're starting to see it more and more. He is affecting the industry. So that's what is and what isn't in the protein. If we take a look at the rest of the nutritional facts, 140 grams of calories, sorry, 140 calories, 2.5 grams of fat, 5 grams of carbs for that total 24 grams of protein. It's going to fit into a lot of people's diets. Nothing there that's overly high as far as fat, carbs, or total calories. The product comes currently in a 2-pound or a 4-pound bag. There's currently 4 flavors. We've got chocolate cookie crunch, s'mores, cookies and cream, and vanilla. I believe there is a 5th one soon to be on the way. I've tried the chocolate and the vanilla. They're both delicious. I religiously go with the vanilla. Not to do with the flavor, but because I'm a very cheap individual. These are sold, as I said, in 2-pound, 4-pound bags. The ingredients that they put in to make the flavor become part of the overall weight of the product, and that affects how many servings you get. So if the ingredients used to make the flavor are heavier, you're going to have less servings per bag. In the case of ProJYM, the chocolate cookie crunch and the s'mores, heavier ingredients, equates to about 46 servings per bag. The cookies and cream and the vanilla, which is the one I go with, 52 servings. So you're talking 6 extra servings. Like I said, I am cheap, so that tends to be the way I go. But if you're a chocolate fan, the chocolate is delicious. I highly recommend it. Do I have any complaints about ProJYM? As far as the product in the bag, absolutely not. I've been very happy with it. Great protein content, great blend, very well priced, mixes well, and tastes great. So no complaints whatsoever. If I could suggest any improvements, it would actually be to the bag itself. It comes in the 2- and 4-pound bag. Myself, I take about 3 servings a day. My wife will take 1. So 53 servings does not last a long time. I would love to see an 8-pound or a 10-pound bag come out. In addition, the bag comes with this handy quick zip on the top. I find that probably every 4th bag I get, that sucker ends up ripping off and you're stuck with an open bag of protein that you can't close up. So a little more work into the zip tie could be used, but as far as the product itself, excellent protein. I highly recommend it. If you're not currently taking a protein and you're looking to take one, this is a great place to start. And if you currently have a favorite protein, go grab the package and take a look. See what the ingredients are. See if you might be victim to protein spiking. And if you are, give ProJYM a try, because it's a good quality product, backed by Jim Stoppani. It's his name, it's his face on the product, it's his reputation, and he takes that seriously. Go with ProJYM, you're going to get a good quality product. So that's it for my quick review on ProJYM. Hopefully we'll have a few more up on the other supplements offered by Jim Supplement Science. Thanks for listening.